Hello, welcome to Screen Talk with yours truly, Nomfanelo Malloy. So it's been what a week now where I posted a video where I shared my thoughts on Alan Tudyk, revealing that he was removed from the iRobot publicity because he tested higher than Will Smith. So if you haven't seen that video, I recommend you check that out. But essentially, once that revelation came out, there's been a lot of chatter online, mainly I would say in regards to Will Smith. And let's just say it's not good for Will Smith because people question if he was behind this, and many people point out that he has a big ego and all that stuff. But yeah, as in the midst of that chatter, the same person on Twitter that shared that clip that got viral also posted this clip from Will Smith when he did the Hollywood Roundtables, the Hollywood Reporter Roundtable, the Actors Roundtable that came out back in 2015. So essentially, if you recall, if you remember, Will Smith originally was offered Django Unchained the lead, but he turned that down. And we're going to get into those reasons why he turned it out because I find just looking back now, there's some conflict in regards to the reasons why he um, says that stuff. But let's just play the clip here. So, the full Hollywood roundtable for this, it's available on YouTube. I'll link it if you want to check it out, but I'll just play this clip for now once I share you full screen.
I had said yes to Django, but it was more about the creative direction of the story. We talked, we sat for hours and hours and hours about it. I loved I wanted to make that movie so badly. But with that story, I felt the only way I could make that movie is it had to be a love story, not a vengeance story. I don't.
So, okay. Um, so with Django Unchained, it's been a while since I've seen that movie, but because obviously the movie is going to be very action heavy, but also too there's like core themes and motivations and all that stuff. And really, with Django, he's doing all this to reunite with his wife Broomhilda, who's enslaved by Calvin Candy. So there really is a love story at the core, even though it's told in a way that Quentin Tarantino, of course, would tell it. But I find it's weird for Will Smith to say that he wanted this to be a love story. Because, first off, has he seen a Quentin Tarantino movie? Because his movies are have a lot of violence to it, essentially. But let's just continue.
Believe in violence as the reaction to violence. So when I'm looking at that, it's like, no, no, no. It has to be for love. He has the only way he can retrieve his love is to do this. He can't want to be this.
Because the character is doing it for love. So I don't know if we'll miss that in the script or I don't know what he's talking about here because the character is doing it for love, but had to do it in the way that he did because it was necessary. But let's continue.
No, no, no. Like violence begets violence. For me, I just couldn't connect to violence being the answer. Love had to be the answer.
Would have balanced out that Wild Wild West scale.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But yeah, it's just weird. He says all this because yeah, people, if you look in the comment section, point out the hypocrisy because obviously the slap, I mean, obvious reason. But I think mainly also too is that he has acted in violent movies before. I mean, we had the Bad Boys movies, Hancock, Suicide Squad, I Am Legend. I mean, the list we could continue on. So I don't really buy the answer he's giving here in regards to because it's violence being the answer and all that stuff. I'm like, no, I think he missed the mark on Django Unchained. But I think really at the end it worked out for the best for him not to be involved, because Jamie Foxx, I would say, did a great job with that role. And I think Will and Quinn probably would have clashed a lot in the movie, because of course they have, the big egos and all that stuff. And Quinn, like, he's, one of the filmmakers that is a visionary and is always going to stick to his vision and not compromise. And I think Will probably wanted to challenge that, and yeah, I just think that wouldn't have worked at the end. So yeah, it worked out for the best, I would say. But yeah, I saw this roundtable at the time, and when I saw him gave the answer, I'm kind of like, really, what's going on here? Because I need to share my screen again. So reason why I bring wanted to bring this up, because at the time when I saw the roundtable and then he gave that answer, and I was confused because I believe it was just months after Django Unchained came out, he gave a different answer as to why he turned it down. So let me share it again. So this was originally posted on Entertainment Weekly, but CNN had the article. So he talks about why he turned down Django. Um, so at the time, he was promoting After Earth, and essentially, Will Smith says here that he turned down the part because it wasn't a lead. I don't know. So he says here, quote, Django wasn't the lead, so it was like, I need to be the lead. The other character was the lead. And then he says, I was like, no, Quentin, please, I need to kill the bad guy. Oh my goodness. Because, of course, the movie centers around Django, because essentially, it's his quest to find his wife, so he is the lead. I get that. Because I remember at the time there was debate, because when Christoph Waltz got nominated for this movie, whether was it a lead or was it supporting. So he did end up winning the Oscar for supporting and all that stuff. But yeah, because with Schultz, I believe that's the character. He's only in the movie for what, maybe half of it. Again, it's been a while since I've seen it, but really, like, Django's there from beginning to end. So what is he talking about? I think it's because he wants to shine on himself for why Will Smith turned it down. Because yeah, it's just weird to say that Django wasn't the lead, because clearly he is the lead, because the movie revolves around him. But hey, yeah, 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 yeah. And then, so while, like, when I saw the person on Twitter share that clip, I tried to see if there were any articles covering this. I didn't see any recent articles, but then I found, like, it's interesting that I found an article that came out just before Django Unchained came out, where he first talked about why he turned down Django Unchained. And then when I saw the answer that he gave, I was just shocked, honestly, though. So let me share the screen again. So, so I found this on Collider. So Will Smith, he did an interview with Empire magazine. Now this was for when he was promoting Men in Black 3 at the time. And here's what he had to say. I came really close. It was one of the most amazing screenplays I had ever seen. I was in the middle of Men in Black 3 and Tarantino was ready to go. And I just couldn't sit with him and get through the issues. So I didn't want to hold him up. That thing's going to be ridiculous. It's a genius screenplay. So it just seems like here what he was on the fence, but didn't really get into why specifically, because he praised the screenplay, but it seems like, yeah, back to what I was saying earlier, I think it just wasn't a big enough part in his eyes. But then Jamie Foxx, I'm assuming this is when he was promoting the movie. He shared this quote: "When this movie's done, there's, or actually, sorry, this was probably I'm assuming when the trailer came out. I don't remember the exact date. But anyways, this is what Jamie Foxx said. When this movie's done, there's going to be some hot button issues, but given my background, I think I'll be able to get some points across. The one thing that stuck out to me in the script was that Django Unchained was married. Back then, to be married was taboo. This is a love story. He's not trying to stop slavery. He's not trying to do anything but find the love of his life, which is like trying to find a needle in a world of haystacks." So Jamie Foxx gets it. There is a love story to the core, but I guess Will Smith doesn't see it, or maybe he missed it while reading the script or during his session with Tarantino. I don't know, but it's just wild, like with those answers that he gave to why he turned it down. So, and then we need to fast forward to when 2022, I believe. This was after the slap. This was when, if you guys remember, he did the slave movie Emancipation that came out on Apple TV Plus. I remember watching that movie at the time, and honestly, that was a slog to get through. It was quite depressing, and I just wondered, oh, he turned down Django Unchained, but decided to do this movie. I'm like, really? So honestly, the movie wasn't great. It wasn't the worst thing that I saw, but it wasn't high art either. So I found, if you guys remember this, when he did Red Table Talk, if you guys remember Red Table Talk, so he did episode where he talked about emancipation, and it was with his kids. So essentially, that was his takeover episode, and he addresses Django Unchained here. So let's see what he shares here.
Caesar came out as people were like, why another slave movie? And it's like, this is not a slave movie.
No.
This is a freedom movie.
There were some parts.
Hilarious. He said, with emancipation is a freedom, because you could argue Django Unchained is a freedom movie, even though he's not freeing everyone, he's trying to free his wife, essentially. But let's continue.
Of me when you said you were making a slave movie that I was like,
Yeah.
Well, you know, originally I was considering doing Django.
Did you guys know that? Did you guys know?
Yeah.
We had
know
a
that
family
we all
had a
meeting.
family
We had a
meeting.
family
Yeah.
meeting about, and we all talked about Django.
yes.
I wasn't all the way in, but one of the main reasons why I wasn't was the looks on your faces, because you knew what that would mean, and those characters seep back into the house.
Yeah.
So I invited college students to.
Yeah, so there's that. Because it's just weird that throughout the years he keeps giving these different answers as to why he turned down Django. So it's just weird. Because also too, people bring up how, throughout the years he has revealed that he turned down these different movies. Because I think a few months ago he revealed that he turned down Inception. It's safe to assume that it was for the Leonardo DiCaprio role. And honestly, I was surprised. And I called Cap on that story at the time, but then I found an old article in the Hollywood Reporter that showed that, yeah, that he was, I guess, considered to be playing the lead at the time, but he turned it down. And honestly, it was like, thank God he turned it down, because I think Leo did a great job in that movie. And of course, if you remember his story with The Matrix, how he turned down Neo, I think he did a video on his YouTube channel about this. I think he said, if I recall, that he did not get it, essentially, which is why he turned it down. But Also, too, I wondered at the same time with these turning down these roles is because he was probably afraid that with other characters might take the spotlight from him. I don't really have much else to say on this, but I would love to know, what do you guys think about this? Why do you think he gave these different answers as to why he turned down Django Unchained? I would love to know your comments on all this. Let me know. Also, too, if you want to support me, you could visit buymeacoffee.com/numpy Malloy, where you could donate, and also to check out the posts I have there. Also, too, I have a YouTube community page where you could check that out, where you could post stuff, but as long as you do under community guidelines. And if you want to follow me, my links for social medias are in the description. So I want to say thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to catch you on the next one.